Hi guys, so I'm going to start right now with my kind of new set of lithium films, and I'm going to start from what feels like the beginning and feels right to talk about first, and that is the different options for withdrawing off lithium medication. So before I talk about the different options, I'm just going to tell you what I did and why, as briefly as possible. So 2 years in taking lithium, I tried dropping it the first time. That didn't work, and they were quite big drops, kind of 100 milligram drops at the time. And yeah, I wasn't ready, and it wasn't suitable, and I became manic probably 4 or 5 days in from dropping. So I had to go straight back onto the lithium, even though I hadn't totally come off it. And then much later on in the process, kind of 7 years down the line, I met a different doctor. I'd moved country, and he suggested the same thing, 100 milligram drops. And again, that didn't work. And during this time, I was getting pretty desperate. I wanted to withdraw. I knew it was right for me not to carry on with this medication. It was like something that was really strong, something that I really wanted to come off and to do in my life, to move forward. And so then I tried again with quite big drops, same doctor, and I was doing more research with people on the internet, and there was, I can't remember the name of them now, but they were really good and kind of really suggesting on the best way to come off psychiatric medication, and these tiny little drops, so you just tiny little bit night by night, and then take it really slowly. Sometimes it was like a tiny drop for a whole week, and so I thought I would just kind of see how I go. And you can see all of my withdrawal tapering films that I did a year ago, and that gives you a lot more detail. It was fresh in my mind at the time, and right now, as you can see, it's not. But for me, I decided that to do it without a doctor, it would be more beneficial for me, because I felt like I'd done the research. I'd already tried how the doctors suggest it, and I knew that that wasn't going to work for me, because it was creating too many physical sensations. It was it was too intense for me, and I just thought, well, it just makes sense to me to do this much slower, especially after what I'd read. And then it's much easier on your body. So that's why I did it on my own. The other thing that I felt confident doing it on my own is because I had a really good support network at home. My husband was, like by my side. He was like a strong rock kind of thing, and he wanted the best for me. He'd been there all the way through this whole process in the past, so he knew that it hadn't worked for me in the past, and so he was there to support me. And I think that for those of you that don't have that day-to-day support at home with your family or with some really great friends by your side that can be there for you, then I think that's when you would need to have a professional there with you. The other amazing aspect that I had, which I think was one of the most helpful, because your family, your friends can have worries of their own. They can not necessarily know what to do if you feel like a bit wobbly one day or something. Do you have the same dose, or do you drop again? It's not really, they can't analyze that for you, really. So what was amazing for me, I called her my withdrawal buddy, and she kind of contacted me from doing these films that I do on YouTube, and she'd already withdrawn off her lithium medication, and she was in Canada, but we kind of talked when we could on Facebook Messenger, and I'd have a wobbly moment, and I'd say, look, this is what's going on, and she'd kind of help me stick through it, not to worry about these funny sensations I might be having, and just kind of stick at that level. Or don't worry if you feel like you have to go up a bit tonight, you know, it's not the end of the world, because you think, oh God, I've got to go up a couple of milligrams, but that's regressing. No, if that's what you need right there and then do it. So that coaxing, that kind of feedback from someone that's actually done it, that support that makes you feel like, okay, well, if they've managed it, I can too. You know, I can do this. It is possible. Was really, really, what's the word? Just kind of really encouraging and really nourishing. And I just felt like I couldn't have done it so easily without her. And that was amazing. So if you could find a withdrawal buddy somewhere, then I think that would be really helpful for anyone going through this process. Yeah, so if you don't have any of that support, then you have to go and find it with people in the industry. Then make sure that you find someone that's kind of on your wavelength. They get you. They're not pushing you to do things you don't want to do. They're not trying to get you on more meds. You know, if you really are firm with them and you explain to them, this is what I want to do, can you help me through this? I remember my buddy said, you know, but my doctor was saying to me, oh, you know, you drop 100 milligrams. She'd say, yeah. But she'd go home and she'd drop less because she knew that was the right thing to do. So she kind of lied a bit to them, but in a way that kind of made the dropping process manageable, because she didn't have a buddy like I did. So yeah, but that's only if, you know, if you feel confident that you've done your research, you know you're doing the right thing to drop in these tiny increments. So it's good to learn lots before you go ahead and do this. Yeah, so the next film I'm going to do is about having like if you have a fear of a relapse, then what's your plan? Basically having a plan if you do relapse when you're withdrawing. So that's next. So coming up soon. Bye.